Atul Subhash was one of the top 25 AI engineers in the world.
Yeah.
Who is responsible for his demise?
They want the men to pay child support, but every month it can be like $1,000. Whether it comes to child access, they won't even show you the child.
Yeah. Like, how crazy can it be?
I mean, it's like the men having a conversation about it in the restroom.
While peeing.
In the restroom.
Amazing.
And some managers gave Om Shanti Om tickets to employees
For Men's Day.
for Men's Day.
Oh, wow. Men facing matrimonial cases face is that they have to attend multiple cases in multiple courts and sometimes in multiple cities.
Yes.
Welcome to the first podcast of Save Indian Family Foundation with Mr. Anil Murthy, the co-founder. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And we are right in the beginning of a couple of days before Men's Day 2025, and we thought we should get him to talk about it so that we all
Right.
know about it a little more, and then let's see how it goes. All right, sir. So I have a question before we begin that topic.
Right.
Could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Right. So I am co-founder of Save Indian Family Foundation, and we founded it more than 20 years back. So in 2005, we started as an online meetup community in a Yahoo group, and we had helplines for men, supporting men all over India, maybe 20 or 20 numbers of helplines. And we started with around 70 to 100 people
Okay.
way back in 2005.
All right.
And quickly we started growing using the blogs and internet as a leverage, and we started having a lot of meetups, right?
Okay.
But my background is I have a technology background. I have an electrical engineering degree.
Okay.
And a master's in also electrical engineering with a certain exposure to machine learning and AI.
Okay.
And so that was in 90s, early 90s. So I worked in Tata Steel for 5 years and worked in Bosch,
Okay.
Germany, and India for like 7 years almost. So I was a designer of car, automotive softwares and strategies for the software.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. So now that you started, when did you first come to know about Men's Day?
I think it was sometime around 2004 when I joined the men's movement, because we as a group were starting to search online. So we found a community in Malta, somebody in New Zealand, and many people in USA or UK.
Okay.
So there was one website called XY Online or something like that. So in that website, there were articles about International Men's Day. And so that's how we came to know. And then there was a argument and fight going on online.
Okay.
Between the feminists opposing it and these guys are arguing.
So that time it was relative. When did it start, sir?
I think the idea of a men's day is very old, maybe 1980s or so.
Okay.
Because if I remember, National Coalition for Free Men, it's an American men's rights organization, which was founded, I guess, in 1973.
Okay.
So, 1973, just imagine, it was
I
like,
wasn't born.
yeah, it was like 50 years back. So then there were always some discussion in 90s, early 90s.
Okay.
And there was a World Men's Day around 95 or 96, which could not get sustained.
Okay.
And so there was always a discussion going on. But sometime around 1999, there was a history professor in Caribbeans.
Okay.
His name is Jerome Tilak Singh. Jerome Tilak Singh.
Okay.
Tilak Singh.
Okay.
So he is a person of Indian origin,
Oh.
but his ancestors may have migrated there,
Got it.
200 years back. So he started this concept of International Men's Day for positive gender relations and talking about men's issues and all that. And he was quite young. I think he was in his 20s at that time. He was in late 20s. So he may be in 50s right now.
Yeah.
So he's quite young.
Got it.
And he said 19th November should be the International Men's Day. And his motivation was, it was his father's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
right. So it
amazing.
was his father's birthday. So he started it, and then Caribbean is a small place,
Yeah.
but still there was some momentum around it, and then that's one of the proposed date. Then different countries were suggesting their own day. The Norwegians had some other day.
Okay.
So different. So in the Wikipedia International Men's Day page
Mm-hmm.
had multiple dates.
All right.
So in 2004 and 2005-6, during those years, there's a predominant day, which is 19th November,
Yeah.
which is proposed by Jerome Tilak Singh. But then there was proposal for other dates also. Some date in October or September, some date in Feb, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a debate, discussion going on. There was no momentum.
Okay.
So when we guys got into this flow, once we set up, we in 2005 and 6, we set up like around 12 different men's groups all over India.
Okay.
So that was our first step to increase the numbers.
Like a conglomerate of.
Meetups.
Okay.
It was like a chapters and meetups.
All right. All right.
So we created 12 to 15 different chapters all over India between 2005 till 2007.
All right.
So like Calcutta, we got the team in Calcutta in 2005 itself.
Okay. Okay.
And we got it in Delhi and Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, all these cities. We got Nagpur and Lucknow, all that cities, right? So once our first step was not to start International Men's Day campaigns.
Right.
Our first step was to grow from that 70 to 100 numbers to maybe 500 or 2,000 people numbers. So we had to do the meetups so that every group can be independently, it can grow with a lot of creativity and all that, and media engagement. So we initially used the internet to grow the men's rights community.
Okay.
With a lot of support. And then we said, why not, talk about International Men's Day?
All right.
That was in 2007. And once we guys jumped in, and then some Australian groups joined in with us in 2007, then we took it to the media with events and festivals and events and banners and car rally. So we did a car rally in Bangalore with maybe 15 cars with banners of International Men's Day. We took permission.
This was back in 2007, 8.
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
7, 8.
Wow.
So we drove it around the couple of miles, and we drove around in the tech areas of Outer Ring Road and Eco Space to something called Kormangala. So we drove around that place. Right. So obviously the media was with us.
Okay.
So the media has the coverage going on. And so that's what we did. But the Australian groups, they also did it online in the social media, YouTube. So at that time, YouTube was new. So they got certain advertisement videos being made.
All right.
Like
promotional ones. Okay.
Like there was one small video of around a couple of minutes. So where it's a male urinal, restroom urinal area, and two men are there, and a man is saying, "Hey, have you heard of International Men's Day?" Right? And then the other guy, he's not sure about it. Something like the men having a conversation about it in the restroom.
While peeing.
In the restroom.
Amazing.
And that's very, very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
And then it had the tagline, International Men's Day for Real Men, like that. And these guys in Australia and other countries, they also came up with the logo, colors, and the themes.
Okay, the standard.
More than us, they did it.
Okay.
Whereas we were more active on the ground and in the media.
So Australia is, I would say, should be pretty big at this moment in the world map.
I don't know much because there is always an up and down in different regions. Okay. But International Men's Day later on caught up in UK. And by 2010, almost 70 countries were celebrating it, including Ukraine and Russia and maybe Korea or whatever.
And what about was it adopted by the UN?
Not really.
Okay, not yet?
I don't know, but not really.
Okay.
And this is what they did. And this is an interesting question. This is what UN did. Sometime around 2009, they declared 19th November as a World Toilet Day.
World Toilet Day.
Toilet Day. It's like as if they're trying to insult us.
Yeah.
And then this sanitation and, cleanliness and toilet, this is not a global issue.
Yeah.
In many countries, this is not an issue at all. It may be an issue in India and certain other countries. So they declared it as a World Toilet Day.
Okay.
And, in a way, like to degrade or whatever. So that's one interesting thing that happened. So they didn't really support us that way. And there are a lot of things have happened.
How did media take it?
Well, media was quite positive, at least in India. Okay,
Okay.
it was quite positive in terms of covering it.
Mhm.
Very rarely we found opposition. Maybe they also heard the view of the feminists, and feminists said like feminists and other men said like, okay, men are not victims or men are not suffering. They don't really have any issues.
Or women suffer more?
Yeah, yeah, they made it like a
Yeah.
zero sum game.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And they were also saying like men rule the world and there are so many men in positions of power.
The patriarch and
Governments and judiciary government is full of men, so how can you have why do you need a men's day? The other argument they had was like, see, 364 days are for men
oh,
and only one day for women, so men have 364 days, so why do you need it?
okay.
But the whole point is we have a Father's Day also, we have a Mother's Day also. So mothers are not victims, okay?
Right.
Or we have a Children's Day. So it is not like you have to be a victim to have a day.
Mm-hmm.
You can celebrate what you are, right? And there's no point in being defensive about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what we see also is that in media and elsewhere, it is the women are more open to the whole idea of Men's Day than men
Yeah.
themselves,
Yeah.
which is strange. Especially the boomer and Gen X men of my generation, they were ignoring it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
However, one thing we encouraged in those 2007 and 2008, that we told men to celebrate International Men's Day by cutting a cake
Oh, yeah.
in their companies.
I was just about to say that in the last couple, I think 3-4 years, I've been doing it, and I still find resistance. It is just my team that does. So I am here.
Right.
So I order the cake,
Right.
and they cut it on a video call and all.
Right.
But we've not been able to reach the cafeteria and have the entire department,
Yeah.
get involved.
So I was at that time working in Hewlett Packard, the printers design department. So I had a team of 17 boys and girls. So one guy, he in the morning 8 only, he said, today is International Men's Day.
Okay.
And in the afternoon, we are going for a movie.
Okay.
And movie is sponsored by the manager,
Oh,
who is
wow.
me. We used to have a small fund
Okay.
for team building. I said, okay, let's go and watch a movie. So then he got the cake and some snacks and some drinks. I mean, cool drink, juice or
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
So we cut them near our workplace, near the cubicles, not in cafeteria.
Uh-huh.
So for like 15 minutes, and then we headed to a movie.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the name of that movie also.
What was it?
That's a very interesting movie. It's called Om Shanti Om.
Okay.
Which is like a Shah Rukh Khan's movie, and
Oh, yeah.
that what is the Farah Khan? I think they are movie. So we went and watched it in Garuda Mall
Okay.
of Bangalore.
Okay.
And it was published in the media also.
Oh.
Some managers
What was it?
some managers gave Om Shanti Om tickets to employees
For Men's Day.
for Men's Day, but actually it's only one. That's me. Right.
Okay. Nice. So, media has been
Yeah.
kind,
Relatively, yeah.
relatively kind.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's move a little bit towards a very, I would say, serious topic, which is, I believe, ignored by a lot of us, and that is men's health.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about men's health in relationship to Men's Day?
Well, there are a lot of things happened in relation to, International Men's Day in last 15 years. So after we started celebrating International Men's Day, it started catching up all over the world. So initially, maybe 2007, it was 15 or 20 countries, and then by 2010, it was like almost 70 to 80 countries, men in those countries were celebrating. And at that time, parallelly, there are certain men's communities which started a Men's Health Month. So they declared November as a Men's Health Month,
Wow.
complete November, and they had a movement called Movember. M, it starts with M,
Yeah.
Movember, not November. M stands for mustache.
Yeah.
So you have that fake mustache.
Yeah.
And you are supposed to, have a beard, whole month of November, mainly to create awareness about men's health.
So I came to know first about November from a guy called Mike in
Okay.
Boulder, Colorado.
Okay.
Lead School of Business. We were
Which
studying.
year was
This
it?
was 2013.
Ah,
No, 2011.
11. Yeah, yeah.
Now, now he was basically asking people, sharing a particular link,
Right.
a link to the website, basically,
Right, right,
and asking people to participate. And
right.
I had no idea. I said, okay. And he used to have a mustache throughout the year, but at
Right.
that time he would, grow it and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
chaudhary and all. He was a
Right.
white guy,
Right.
thin white guy. So I went to the website, and basically what he was asking was donate for men's health on
Right.
this website,
Right. Right.
because we know that I don't
Yeah.
know the amount, but millions and billions of dollars are getting contributed to breast cancer.
Right. Right.
But relative to that, we might not have even change for prostate cancer,
Yeah.
right? For research.
Right.
Um, and then I started growing. I didn't have the money at that time to donate, of
Right,
course.
right.
I started growing a mustache and a beard from 2011.
Right. Right.
This time, so last time I had a full beard.
Right.
I had forgotten this. Till last month I had a beard. Anyways, so the concept of November, if I get it correctly, is that month is dedicated to men's health.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is for men to focus on their and their
Yeah.
brothers
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fathers' healths,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to
I mean, everybody, men, women, everybody
yeah,
focusing in. Yeah.
and then a mustache is a symbolic representation of a November,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can contribute to the collective fund
Right.
for men's health research.
Creating awareness and or maybe funding and all that.
Okay.
And in a way, it has slowed down. The
Okay.
Movember movement is almost, I think it has gone, like almost. But I think in India, we can revive it with some other name, maybe.
Yeah.
And I will add some things which happened during 2011 and 12. We had an art gallery
Okay.
in Bangalore on International Men's Day. It was a weekend
You
in 2012.
hired it.
We rented
Okay.
a art
Rented
gallery.
it, yeah.
So it was called the Metro Art Gallery near the MG Road in Bangalore. MG Road is a prominent road with a lot of things happening. And then you had the pubs and other things in Brigade Road. So this is just below the metro station. There's an area for a lot of liberal stuff and arts and modern arts. And there are a huge galleries where you can do exhibitions. So we hired it for 2 days and we had a photo exhibition for men's issues. So we had, I guess, almost like 60 to 80 photographs, framed
Okay.
into that whole gallery, and it had photographs of men working and male laborers or a man repairing a truck.
Okay. Were you selling it?
No, no,
No, okay.
There were no tickets. It was
Okay,
free to
okay,
enter.
okay.
And then you have the men in difficult situations, like men dragging a cart,
Yeah, yeah.
or men in different situations
rickshaw
where they
puller, yeah,
contribute to the society with their hard work. And also, it had pictures of our protests or our events in India and also abroad. So I still remember there was a protest outside Indian Embassy in London. Our guys
Oh.
and some of the sisters of some of our guys. So they were protesting, and we had that picture also there.
Back in
2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2012.
So that brings me to the community that we have.
Yeah, but I will add something else interesting happened on that day.
Okay.
We got it inaugurated
Okay.
by a person. His name is Pascal Majurier. He was a French diplomat, and he was falsely accused of rape or raping his daughter by his ex-wife. So we said, and he was still, the trial was going on. He was acquitted later on, but we said we will get him to inaugurate it.
Wow.
And because he was a diplomat, it was a big issue. So he was always being accompanied by a lady from the consulate.
Okay.
As a person like coming with
Taking
him,
care of-
ensuring that there's no
Yeah.
any incident.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was the guy who called him to inaugurate and cut the ribbon.
Okay.
So that's interesting, and some politicians turned up
Okay.
to watch.
Wow.
And so it was very interesting for those 2 days. and there was a drum circle going on just outside this gallery.
Okay.
On the second day, that is Sunday, and the whole crowd of 1,000 people of drum circle,
Wow.
they got in. So
It's an extremely successful event, I would say.
yes, and then next year we followed it up by putting a big stall in the ground floor atrium of a mall. The Forum Value Mall, we had a stall on International Men's Day in the evening, and there were some games. So children and adults can play those games, and then you can get a gift.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And there's a lot of event participation that happens across India from say Nimhans is another one where we had a
Yeah.
stall. Do you want to talk a little bit about men's mental health?
Right.
And this time, I would request you to share your own experience and your experience coaching and counseling hundreds of people that you have.
Right. I mean, men's health is a challenge in general, both physical and mental, because men often tend to ignore it or suppress it or ignore, or they often somehow, I mean, their whole identity is around, denying the health challenges they have, or they often define themselves as their duty towards family, like parents and children and wife.
Like a
And
reason to exist.
yeah, that is the reason for existence, and that is the reason for having a career. So when they do all these duties, like the children are already studying, or they have completed the education and they will be getting into the job, so the man is in 50s, and they have created some assets and some properties and all that. So they often think that, I've done my duties, so there is a vacuum, and then they give up. They say, I have nothing more to do, then what is the point in living?
At what stage or age or bracket is that?
I mean, in 50s, once the man
Okay,
reaches in
okay.
50s, like mid 50s or so, somehow they have some kind of a trigger where they say, I have done everything.
Absolutely.
So they give up. They stop holding on to life.
Absolutely. So I have observed this in so many
Right.
men, of course, 20, 30, 40 years elder to me in my colony, in people I know.
Right.
And I've seen something. And a couple of years ago, I made the decision.
Right.
So right after they retired, and especially the last generation was somebody
Yes.
who never took a leave. They would work
Yes.
365 days a year for 10 years in a row, and then maybe take 5 days leave
Right.
for some special occasion, marriage.
Right.
And all of a sudden, and they would work in probably the same organization all through their lives, or maybe one or two.
Right.
And when they retire, their routine, there's such
Yeah.
feeling of uselessness is what I can imagine.
Yes.
And that can be extremely depressing.
Yes.
So I would say after retirement, and there is a huge population of that age group right now in India,
Right.
I would say 50, 60 at least percentage would be depressed.
Right. I mean, it is changing now, but if you look at the previous generation, like in 90s, people used to retire at one point of time in the age of 55. Then the retirement age was increased to 58.
Yes.
And in those days, people were working in a factory, like a steel plant or an aluminum plant or some other place, or in a college as a professor or something. So in such a situation, in those days, men used to give up. And I know many of the such people, they're dying soon after their retirement,
Yeah.
or maybe within 10 years of their retirement. So that culturally we also inherited.
Absolutely.
I mean, whatever happens to the elders, we inherit a bit of it.
Culturally and maybe a little bit genetically.
Right. But the
Absolutely.
life expectancy has gone up for both the genders in last 20 years, which is good thing. Now men may be thinking in a different way, and the retirement age in many companies is now 60. And I know many men now, so they're after retirement, they're still young. They believe they're young in early 60s, so it's changing. But we need to discuss this challenge because it exists, still exists. See, this is one problem, which is physical health. Then, of course, men also tend to have, because of stress or whatever reasons, peer pressure or whatever, they tend to have addictions or alcoholism, or we ourselves know how it impacts our own communities.
Absolutely.
Alcoholism or some kind of an addiction or smoking or something. And of course, the mental health is the other part, mainly because men are so much suppressed emotionally. Okay. In India, it happens in certain way. In other countries, it happens in some other way. I'll also explain that sometime, but there is always an emotional suppression. You are not supposed to share your problems, or if you share your problems, like then other people may shame you, say just man up and move on, kind of a thing. They will try to give a solution rather than being empathetic about it. So that's a huge problem. I'm not talking about only the men facing false case or court cases or marital problems. I'm talking about all men. Okay, they have their own struggles, and they do not share because there's no listening space.
What do you say to somebody saying it's man's own fault
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they don't like to talk about it?
yeah. Because that is the feminist narrative, mostly in media, where feminists and also the psychologists have contributed to this narrative that they tend to assign the blame to men themselves for not sharing. I mean, you are not sharing, there is something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Or you are stuck with your toxic masculinity or whatever nonsense it is. And because you are stuck in toxic masculinity, that is why you are not sharing. That is what is the whole narrative.
Yeah.
And that, interestingly, that narrative is like, you are not sharing because of patriarchy. Now let the women talk and you shut up.
Ah.
So even you are not sharing, and the solution offered is that you have to just follow our narratives and you shut up. We will talk on your behalf.
Yeah.
But the truth is that if a man starts sharing, the society around him, both men and women, they're not ready to listen.
Absolutely.
Listen to them. If there is a listening space, anybody will share. An animal will also share something. Okay, a dog or cat may also communicate, because we all want to communicate, but there is no space available. Before even you share, somebody shuts you down or somebody tries to say that this is the solution and get lost.
So at this point, and I think
Right.
it is linked, I might be wrong, but
Yeah.
what is the contribution
Yeah.
of Save Indian Family Foundation
Right.
to the men, not only of this country, but globally?
This is where it is related, that when we started in 2005 or slightly before that, when we started the helplines, so one of the values that we follow is that we provide the listening space to men. So we listen to them. We give them a space where we don't judge them, we don't blame them, and we allow them to express themselves. See, they may express with rage or anger or frustration or whatever, positive or negative, whatever, but we allow them the space to communicate, which is not available in the outside world. Like they can't do that with their friends or colleagues, or maybe even their own families or relatives, right? So a man, when he joins our organization, he feels at least there are some people who are ready to listen to me, and they may not solve my problem, but they are ready to listen to me.
And I've heard this exact sentence. So one of my friend's father, he's probably 65. He's my batchmate. His
Right.
younger brother got some issues and going on. So once his father joined, I think two weeks after that, he called me and we were chatting,
Right.
and he said one line I'll never forget.
Right.
It's like after discovering Save Indian Family Foundation,
Right.
he found, quote unquote, कोई तो है सुनने के लिए,
Right. Exactly.
कोई है तो सुनने के लिए. Like our closest friends, closest relatives would vanish at the first
Right.
hint of a 498 or any matrimonial cases.
Right.
And he founding this space, the listening
Right.
that he is craving for.
Right.
And what really disturbs me, and probably why we are
Right.
doing it now,
Right.
you've been doing it for
Right.
20
Right. Right.
years, is so many people don't even know that there is a thing called Men's Rights NGO or Save
Right.
Indian Family
Right.
Foundation, and there's a space available.
Right. Right.
They don't need to suffer alone,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that is something that we definitely want to
Right.
bridge.
I mean, it's so unfortunate. There are so many issues men have. The men's health, mental health. Then, of course, in India, there is so much of corruption and unscrupulousness that has spread, that the judicial processes, and when you engage with the government, anything you do with government is always a torture.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, the matrimonial cases, now the government sits in your bedroom, through the courts and the police.
Okay.
And then there are children also in the family, like in the wedlock, there is children also. So everything, the government decides everything. How the children will be raised, it's the government or the courts decide, or maybe even the police decides. And how the relationship between wife and husband, you know, the government decides whether wife should stay with the husband or husband should stay with the wife or not. And then if people have to separate, that also they decide whether you should have property or not, that the court decides. Or whether you
Absolutely.
should sell the property or not, that also the court. Whether you should be stopped from selling the property, or should you have tenants, or you should stay,
Yeah.
that also the court decides.
Or should we auction the property?
i mean I mean literally the court is like, okay, we will run your lives.
Can you talk a little bit more about the government being in all Indian bedrooms?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why do you say that?
It is so funny and so. I mean, once you go to government, if a couple are on their own, I mean, the wife, they may be fighting with each other, they may be beating each other up, or they may be doing whatever they are doing. But the point is, the moment they bring the government or the court, police station inside, hell breaks loose. So I often tell men, or I will say women also, once you go to the court or the police station, or the government, you bring, now your spouse is no longer your enemy. So your wife or husband is no longer your enemy. Your enemy is the system.
Okay.
The government, the court, and the police, and the lawyers.
Yep.
So you may be thinking government is like, women may be thinking government is supporting us, but
Yeah.
it's like two cats fighting for a cake, and the monkey is the system. Monkey is the system,
Yeah.
and the system will never change. They still had hope last time when it was Atul Subha's unfortunate demise. So I was saying that the system is beyond repair. The judicial system is beyond repair. And Navika Kumar told me in that discussion that no, you are too cynical. But you see, right now, other people like Sanjeev Sanyal and others are saying that our judiciary is a national security threat. If the way our judiciary is, our country can be in danger. Because the way it is behaving in and contributing to bad governance, and the way it is getting into people's lives in a reckless, irresponsible way, it is destroying lot of lives, lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
talent.
And talking,
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up, but Atul Subhash
Yeah.
was one of the top 25 AI engineers in the world.
Yeah.
Who is responsible for his demise?
Last year, International Men's Day, Atul Subhash was part of the events in Bangalore. So 19th November, around those days, he was with the local team. I was in some other city, but he was with the teams. So he was very much part of the crowd and the events. But it looks like he had planned this thing for a long time, you know, maybe a couple of months, or what we find out about this whole thing. It is the system that killed him. Okay, his enemies in the family, of course, but the system systematically betrayed him, and he also saw other men being betrayed. Whether it comes to child access, they won't even show you the child
Yeah.
in a video.
From a distance.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how crazy can it be?
I mean, they want the men to pay child support, but every month it can be like $1,000, 80,000 rupees. You are paying child
So
support.
how much is Shami paying?
Yeah, he's paying a couple of lakhs.
Yeah.
And still they won't show him the child. I mean, the child, it will be all difficult. And the courts are responsible. And this is a deliberate problem created by the lawyers and judges. Because to pass an order to tell the woman that you show the child for half an hour and let the child and the father interact over a video call for half an hour over Skype or WhatsApp call. So easy. They don't do that because they want the litigations to continue. They want this entire thing to remain highly adversarial And
Is there a conflict of interest?
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, the judges and lawyers believe that if matrimonial cases are simplified, uh, they will lose a lot
So,
in their careers or money or whatever. Yeah.
okay.
So they used to protest. I mean, whenever there is any amendment, any reform to make the matrimonial law simpler, easier for the men or women, lawyers always
Oh,
protested.
yeah. So, one of the things that a lot of men facing matrimonial cases face is that they have to attend multiple cases in multiple courts and sometimes in multiple cities.
Yes.
And
Like Atul Subhas.
Atul,
Yeah.
of course I didn't know it earlier, but he had some 120 dates in a
Couple of
period of 3 years, and he attended around 40 dates, 2,000 kilometers one way, 4,000 both ways, into 40, some huge number of kilometers. And what is the purpose?
And to make it worse, often the woman's family, maybe an uncle or somebody, some cousin or somebody, they will be threatening him that when you come to attend the court date, we will get you assaulted, we may get you killed. And the police does nothing.
Absolutely.
Even if you provide them with the evidences or whatever, police offers you no protection.
Yep.
So we have seen so many incidents of men being assaulted or attacked outside the court. Okay, and the judges don't give a damn. And sometimes even the lawyers assault the man in the court
Absolutely.
premises. So they pick up a fight with you and do all those things. So it is so unfortunate. And for Atul, I mean, the child support was almost 80,000 rupees, and he had zero child access, and his parents also had no child access.
Even in US, $1,000 approximately is never. I mean, $500 is a good amount,
Right.
for a child.
Right.
But that, I'm sorry to say this,
Right.
but that common sense that a 3-year, 4-year-old child cannot spend 1 lakh rupees on himself, no matter what.
Right. That's
It's a function of how much the money the husband
and
is
the
making.
unfortunate story here is that, like, many lawyers, prominent lawyers who are, let's say, high court lawyers, right now they are misusing the system. They are promoting misuse of laws. They are contributing to the whole nonsense that's going on.
Yeah.
And maybe next year or year after, some of them will be appointed as high court judges by the collegium. The very people who have contributed to the misuse, these lawyers, they will be appointed as high court judges, and after another 5 or 6 years, they will end up as Supreme Court judges. So all the Supreme Court judges, whatever it is, they all have lived through this whole era of false cases, lack of child access to men,
And they never protested.
They never, of course, they contributed to the system.
Absolutely. And they knew it was all false cases.
Yeah, and then now they are they may be in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But when they were lawyers, let's say in 2005 or 2009, when even women were thrown in prison under 498A.
Oh, a kid, like two months old,
2 months
6
old,
months. Yeah.
Baby had to take bail, and all those things. So as a lawyer, you have been a silent spectator, or you have abetted this kind of nonsense, and then you become a judge, right? And then you become a judge of the top courts, and then you claim that you are going to protect the Constitution. So you say that we, the judges, are the custodian and protectors of how are you?
It seems they are just the protectors and practitioners of Article 15(3) of the Constitution.
I mean, this entire judicial ecosystem is a self-serving ecosystem. It is not for any man. It is not for any women. It is not for any trans people. It is not for any children. Not for any else. It is not for humanity. That is the message that women should be getting. Okay, see, if we grow further, then we may in fact propose a completely an alternate system, even for women, because nobody is gaining out of running around courts for 8 or 10 years. But they're encouraging women to demand huge alimonies. Right? See, these alimony related talk that we see about the movie and celebrity cases in the social media nowadays since last 6 months or 1 year. But behind these huge alimony demands, there is always lawyers.
Oh, absolutely. Like the Katrina Kapoor.
No,
What's
no,
her name?
no. I
Karishma
forgot.
Kapoor.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, always it's the lawyers who plant these
Oh yeah, yeah,
ideas,
yeah. Absolutely.
and they often mislead and they plant these ideas. So it's not like always it's the feminists or women. Yeah, but there is a big component of contribution of the judicial ecosystem.
So are you saying that as soon as the woman goes to the police or the lawyer or the courts,
Yeah,
what ends up happening is the
they put ghee in the fire.
ha, and who ends up gaining is the lawyer.
Yeah, yeah, the entire ecosystem gains.
The ecosystem
The
gains.
court employees, the lawyers, their
Police,
families,
yeah.
police, and the judges, and everybody together they gain, right?
Got it.
And here is the beauty, okay? Couple of months back, like I mean, almost 8 9 months back, Supreme Court came out with some absurd guidelines. It claimed that these are guidelines for alimony, guidelines for monthly maintenance,
Some calculation or so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is absurd because there was no calculation.
Yeah.
It was like these are some
A subjective.
subjective thing. This is how they mislead.
Yeah.
Come on, alimony is such a simple thing. Like you can always have a formula based on people's education
Absolutely.
background, people's contribution. You can always use a formula and
Yeah.
put some AI or some logic to automatically calculate it, right? Even I mean, 10th grader girl or a boy, if you tell them to come out with guidelines for alimony and child support, they will be able to do a better job than the Supreme Court, what Supreme Court did. Okay, and then they claim that they are going to protect the Constitution, Article 21, and human rights, civil liberties, and they are going to safeguard us, the people, from the government. And they claim that government is the dictatorship, and we judiciary is trying to protect you from the so-called dictatorship called government. Of course, government is a problem.
Yeah.
But in our case, the judiciary is a much bigger problem.
And like Sanjeev Sanyal
Yeah,
said that judiciary is a hindrance to Viksit Bharat.
yeah, yeah.
After such a statement, there is no debate. Just they have accepted it.
Right.
Like in cross questioning, when they say that if you don't say anything, it's like you accepting the
Yeah,
guilt,
yeah, yeah,
the accusation.
I mean, do you know he was threatened by a lot of lawyers?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They were trying to sue him. So it is like some kind of a unelected dictatorship,
Yeah.
or some kind of a terrorism. You are terrorizing the people who are questioning. See, Sanjeev Sanyal did not point at one single judge. He talked about the whole system,
Yeah.
whole system, and he was warning that we have only 20 25 years window to develop the country, and judiciary is the biggest hindrance in growth and well-being of our nation, and they are threatening him. What the hell is going on? I mean, they are threatening him that they will sue him and throw him in prison under a contempt of court case. How is it contempt?
Yeah.
You can't criticize the system. It's not any single judge being insulted or a single judgment being insulted. It's not like that. He
Correct.
was talking about the whole system. So we
Correct.
are paying the taxes, and the system is running. The judiciary is getting, judges are getting salaries, or judiciary is running. So we have created a entitled lawyer class. So they think that like they are the upper castes, like the top class who have a say over everything, and they have created that culture among themselves.
And like nobody can touch me.
Yeah, but unfortunately, these false cases and all happen to lawyers also. These problems happen to everybody, right? Right.
Absolutely.
And on this International Men's Day in India, we have this specific problem related to judiciary. Yeah, but if you see, when it comes to International Men's Day, right? I mean, a lot of neighboring countries also have had media coverage. I remember reading articles in Pakistan about International Men's Day, and they were talking about SIFF.
Oh.
Yeah, because they were referring that we supported Soeb Malik when
Yes.
he got a false 498A case during his marriage to Sania Mirza in 2009. Yeah, so
Now, talking about
Yeah.
the contributions of SIFF,
right.
uh, what do you want to talk about the community building activities that we have,
Right.
and why you always keep focusing and
Right.
recommending all of us to build a community?
Right.
Can you
right.
talk about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, very early in the movement in 2004 and 2005 itself, we recognized that, keeping the community together is the fundamental part. That's 90% of the job. And how do you do that? You basically make the people feel good as a community. Like it's like a religious community. We are not that way, but it is all about partying or going for a holiday together or talking and meeting each other every week,
Yeah.
so that you have a huge self-help group and a community where you share about your life, not big things like sports or politics, but it is about day-to-day life, or maybe meeting and cooking food together,
Yeah.
or staying in each other's house. So
Yeah. I'm going for a test ride. Do you want to come down?
right. I mean, sometimes you get to Bangalore, then you stay in
Absolutely.
somebody's house, right? We
Absolutely.
get to stay on each other's
Yes.
house. And this is our biggest contribution, not just in India, but to other countries, men of other countries.
Globally. Okay.
So we told the men's activists of other countries that focus on building the communities rather than focusing on activism.
Okay. And they did.
They slowly realized it. So once you focus on building the community and supporting each other, and having a feel good factor, going on a holidays every twice in a year or something, and then you have regular Zoom calls, or we sometimes even organize a party over a Zoom call. So you bring your food and in the evening and some drinks, and you sit over like 2 hours.
For that matter, that was the Zoom call party we had, I think, in November, around the Men's Day last year.
Right.
That is where I met and saw Atul. He was managing the music.
Yeah. So he
Who
was
would
there.
say he was depressed? He was actually not depressed,
Yeah.
according to my.
I mean, it was on around November 6th, 5th or 6th, when the US elections happened. And the next
Oh,
day
yeah.
we were having that Zoom call, and he
Yes.
was part of the Zoom call. And in the end, it was a party in Zoom call. And in the end, me and Atul Subhash, we were all managing the music. So he was playing the music in the Zoom call
Yeah.
from his phone, and we have that whole recording.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's very, very unfortunate what happened, and the way he took this step, he planned everything, and the way he chose to do this, because it was it is a system. It's the whole system has to take the responsibility along with the opposite people, because there was attempt to harass him, intimidate him, and by the court system, and also the relatives of his ex-wife. They tend to intimidate him whenever he was going to that city to attend
Okay.
the court dates. So the uncle or some other relatives allegedly were threatening him, or of some danger to his life or something like that. And of course there were so many court dates. And see, it happens like many times the man is also at a risk of losing the job.
Absolutely.
And the problem with a guy like Atul was that he was earning so much that the child support or the alimony monthly will be very high. So it creates a huge financial liability. And if the man loses his job due to AI or due to any downturn or any economic crash, he still has to pay
Yeah. Absolutely.
the arrears and all. And judges say that unless you pay all the arrears, we will not listen your appeal.
Yeah. Anything.
So, anything.
Yeah.
So you have come to appeal, but you need to pay the money. But the man has already lost the job.
Yeah. Where's the money come?
Lost the job. So he's appealing to say that I have a change in circumstance because I lost my job. And the judge won't even listen to him, and he'll say that, okay, you pay like a lot of 1 million or 2 million rupees of arrears, and then I'm going to listen to you. Uh,
Including child visitations.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. All right.
Right.
So we've heard from you that we have an international community.
Right.
Could you share some things about international communities, how they are rolling, what it was, and what it's going to be in the future in
Right,
terms of
right.
men's communities, particularly?
Right. See, the International Men's Day is a global event. Right. Nowadays, we are not even owning it. It is owned by media, society, everybody, celebrities. So you see, the first time any celebrity spoke in India is about Abhinav Bindra, who was an individual gold medalist for India in shooting. So he said it's a good idea way back in 2011 or so. And nowadays, Even the actresses, like the Bollywood actress, former actress Madhuri Dixit spoke about International Men's Day
Okay.
with her husband and two boys. She has two sons.
All right.
And so many of people who are common people and celebrities are talking about it. So we don't really have to campaign right now.
Okay.
The same is happening in other countries,
Okay.
like say USA or Caribbeans or Southeast Asia or
So
Japan.
people are realizing the importance of Men's Day.
Men's Day and the discussions and all. So it is now taken up by the society. May not be everybody, but there is a significant section of the society.
Okay.
And in Britain, they have the parliament session going on during this time, unlike ours. So they have a special day reserved afternoon of that day, 19 November. They have a session where they discuss about men's issues and men's health in the Parliament of UK. So that is something happening since last like 10 years or so. So a lot of things are happening.
And would you say that the same adoption is also there in among brands?
Yeah, but we'll get to brands. But in about the international communities, what I'm saying is that the fundamental issues are same. There can be certain things going on different countries. Like in India, we have certain problems related to the domestic violence laws, alimony, or false rape cases, or something like that, or child-related issues. But the same things more or less exist in other countries also, like whether it's false cases or Me Too allegations, or let's say the basically there is a gender conflict. There's a lot of tension that is now all over the world between both the genders.
Absolutely.
Right?
And there's a narrative going on that men nowadays are not ready to date.
Date or get married or something like that. And whether it's young men or older men, for everybody, there is like a certain kind of a tension or stress that has come up all over the world, right? So this is common, okay, all over the world. So we were suggesting to the international men's groups who are aligned with us that how do we further help men and men's well-being. So there is always some kind of a male psychology conferences going on in UK, and then now there are online men's communities where men meet each other. Physically they meet each other, and they have Zoom calls where they see each other. It's not like some man ranting, or it's not like some subreddits or a subculture where you don't know who that person is. Now here you really know who that person is physically. And recently we had a get together, some kind of a retreat, jamboree, like around almost a week's time. So
Okay.
around in one country in Southeast Asia, where
Okay.
there were like almost a dozen Indian men and 15 or so men from other countries like
Okay.
USA and Canada and Germany, and
All MRAs.
men's activists,
Men's
and
activists.
people who align. And we had a party. We stayed in a
Amazing.
resort and had good food. Went on driving around and all that kind of stuff, and all these things. And some of these men were in 60s.
Okay.
In
Wow.
60s, and they may be older than me, but they are part of the movement a bit recently. So we have a plan to have such kind of a retreat for all the men of international men, maybe 40-50 of them from in India and other countries, in India also sometime next year or the year after. Yeah.
So now that you're just coming back from that, outing, your vacation,
Right.
do you want to share one or two points that
Right.
stands out for you, in the conversations with that
Yeah.
community, the international, the guys from US, or
Right.
whatever you some conversation that
Right.
pops out for you
Right.
today over the last week that you've had.
I mean, in all these men's communities, the men's rights communities, uh, you sense a lot more empathy between men. So you feel, even though you may be, that other man may be a stranger to you, but you see that space. You feel the space of empathy, understanding, even though the cultures can be very different. And then you experience generosity towards each other, and it's so easy. So you always feel at home. So whether you are meeting these men in Germany or Netherlands or USA or Canada, Australia, or any other country, you feel at home. Okay, it's not like
All right.
they are strange, they're different from
So what you're saying is they might be from different continents,
and cultures.
but men's problems are the same.
Same, and the basic design is the same.
The design is the
So
same.
once you bring in the empathy and the generosity and the regard and dignity for each other, then it becomes so easy, right? Often it takes time to break the ice. Even in our, you join a new company,
Absolutely.
and nobody knows you, and it takes a while to break the ice. For us, across these communities across the world, it is very natural.
Yeah.
It may take only 2 hours, and then we really have
Click.
connected.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
then we talk about our own individual spiritual journeys, life's experiences, childhood. We really share.
So a lot of people might not be able to travel to Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Do
Or
we have
Middle East. Yeah.
other locations? Like, is there a?
Maybe Nepal.
Okay.
Nepal. Yeah.
All right, all right.
Or Sri Lanka, or I mean, it can be even India. So the point is that it is all about just making it a point to attend, and meet people.
Got it.
Yeah, that's
Physically.
important. Yeah, it is not about cost.
Got it,
It can
absolutely.
be very affordable.
Absolutely.
Only thing, we should go to some place which is affordable for us to stay in a hill station or outside the city. But we need that community.
Got it, got it. Now, a lot of people, and I myself included, have chosen or are in the process of choosing a life that we call MGTOW,
Right.
or men going their own way.
MGTOW. Yeah.
MGTOW. Now, one of the concerns that I have, and I believe a lot of us have,
Right.
is what's going to happen in our old age.
Right.
Who's going to take care of? Especially if I'm an Indian, I'm used to the wife taking care of the husband. That's what I've seen.
Right.
And a lot of us, and I'm saying this concern could be
Right.
the same for single women in their 40s, 50s, 60s.
Right.
Who's going to take care of me physically and health wise and all that? What's your plan, and what do you recommend to
Right,
anybody who
right.
has that question?
Yeah, it's indeed a challenge when there is no family system, and there is no, support system in the family. See, traditionally in India, children are supposed to take care of parents emotionally, financially, all that, the palliative care and all that. But now there are caretakers and all are coming up. The infrastructure is getting built as old retirement homes or some kind of a support. But the biggest challenge is, will they be of proper quality? Will there be enough safety and security? And will your emotional and other needs be addressed? In old age, anything can happen when somebody lives old enough. So, not just health problems, it can lead to some mental health conditions, some memory loss or Alzheimer's, something can happen. So we are moving towards an alternative culture. But then, if we have a community, some kind of a community, even for old age, then as a trust, as a big community, we may be able to, do something about it.
And something very different from the standard old age home.
Correct. Because if it is like there are some religious communities who
Absolutely.
have old age communities which are related to religious or a guru or something like that. So we have to quickly work on that kind of an arrangement.
Okay.
One gap I experienced last 10 years, 15 years is that we focused too much on younger men, because younger men are in danger of false cases or child access. And I mean, the men who are like 30 or 35, they get traumatized a lot more.
Extremely.
And they needed a lot of help. So we often focus helping these men. Okay. But then we have the men who are above 40 or above 45. So they have a different kind of a need, because they may never remarry again.
Absolutely.
So they have altogether a different kind of need in terms of investments, finances, career. They are more likely to face problems in their career, right? So we have to now create separate communities for relatively older men who are above 45. See, they have a different kind of health care needs.
Absolutely.
And all that. So that we have to focus on. I mean, last 20 years, a lot of that time we spent on emergency firefighting.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you said, it is emergency.
Yeah.
And in my experience, and of course your 20 years experience, you must have met and spoken to so many young men, maybe 20s,
Right.
30s, who have just got their first phone call from the police station, and they are traumatized
Right.
to the extent that some of them might commit suicide.
Right.
How is the first half an hour or 15 minutes of a conversation when a traumatized guy calls you
Right.
or calls our helpline?
Right.
What is that like? What do we do
Right. Right.
for somebody who calls us?
Yeah, the first step, of course, is that he should trust us, right? That we are with him, without judging him. So first we have to communicate, or I communicate that I'm with you
Mm-hmm.
completely. So you can trust me. The other part that comes up is that often in that situation, things are so complex that the man go through a lot of confusion,
Mm-hmm.
lack of clarity. So some amount of clarity has to be created within that half an hour of conversation. You have to tell them, like, don't worry about this and this is how these things are. Briefly, you have to create clarity for him.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the things may go for 2 or 3 years, things may continue, there may be a delay,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to give him some kind of a clear picture of what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you have to tell him certain do's and don'ts, because many times men unknowingly they make mistakes because somebody suggested him something. Ignorant people, they suggest him something to do, and also you have to warn them for not doing something rash,
Mm-hmm.
like, like being fighting it out, or you know doing something rash, like shouting at somebody or typing some kind of a message, abusive message, and sending him to somebody. Because once a man is disturbed, he can
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of things
Absolutely.
which can worsen his situation. So we have to stop that and create some clarity for him. And many of these guys, they are in such a high level of anxiety that they want things to happen quickly. Then we have to tell them that, slow down, and we'll deal with the situation. And we have to tell them what is the next plan, when is the next call, or they can attend some meetup. Physically, they can meet somebody in their neighborhood, in their village or city.
Mm-hmm.
They can meet somebody who can talk their language, or somebody from, you know,
Absolutely.
nearby areas. So he has to get that confidence. And in the end of the day, what a man typically needs is peace of mind and a bit of happiness.
Yeah.
That's what you need. So that's what we deliver. Okay. So what we can promise a man who comes to us is that, irrespective of what is going on in your life, we can assure you that you will get peace of mind when you are part of our community. In couple of months' time, if you
Mm-hmm.
follow what we say,
Mm-hmm.
you will be certainly peaceful.
If you have the trust in us and you
And you follow
follow,
what we say,
you will have it.
you will have it, and we deliver it no matter what.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hundreds and
Yes,
thousands of.
you know that,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And you won't, then naturally you won't worry much.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you are now quite peaceful. So you know what, and you have clarity.
Yeah.
So the worrying stuff, you have that habit of getting worries,
Mm-hmm.
and all those, scary thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
they will go down by 90%.
Absolutely. And that's what whenever somebody new comes to me, and one of the questions I ask in the first
Yeah,
call
right.
itself is, have you started going through a training? And sometimes he would say no, in which case I would
Right.
recommend the Tribe One app.
Right.
You go to the app and you check out the
Right.
trainings. And sometimes when that person says, yes, I've started, I ask, have you done the mental strength training by
Right,
Anil
right,
sir?
right.
And a lot of people just go directly to maintenance cases and
Right.
that video.
Right.
And I always say, before doing anything
Right.
in the world, listen to his, 2-3
Right.
hours training. The kind of material that, I mean, that's the only
Right.
only training that I have done n number of times, and that has taken me from extremely anxious and depressed to what I
See,
am.
the International Men's Day is all about well-being of men, not just court cases and
Ah.
it's well-being. So it's emotional well-being, physical well-being, financial well-being, and the community as a together has a well-being, right? So men have to realize that if you are focusing on your well-being, and as a community we are all doing good, then automatically your problems will get resolved, whether they are legal problem, financial problem, job, other problems. Often men don't do that. They directly try to address the problem without focusing on well-being. Okay, so you have focus at the wrong place.
Mhm.
Let's say you focus on a problem, the problem can become more complex.
Absolutely.
It is important that you focus on your well-being, and once in a while you look at the problem, try to solve it, and then again you come back to the well-being. It's like a game of tennis
Yeah.
where you play the game when you go to the nets to hit a shot, then you come back to the baseline.
Uh-huh.
It's not like
You don't stay there.
stay there.
Yeah.
You know,
Amazing example.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what we men need to realize, that it's very counterintuitive. You have to focus on your own well-being and what you are eating, and how your friends are, how you can celebrate life
Mm-hmm.
every moment by moment, and then of course you have problems.
Yep.
I was coaching this in a foreign country
Mm-hmm.
in London. Actually, I
Mm-hmm.
was conducting a well-being session coaching for a bunch of students and also mental health professionals. It was way back in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
where I was giving examples of many men who
Mm-hmm.
had great problems. So suffering is a part of life. It's not just for us, even for presidents and prime ministers, CEOs and celebrities, for everybody, suffering is a part of life.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to start celebrating every moment of our life. And we should not get and say that, I am only suffering and other people having a good time.
Yeah, that victim mode or pity party that we're going
Yeah.
through.
So I was showing the pictures of, Michael Schumacher.
Uh-huh.
Such a great man, such a great celebrity and sportsman, and what he went through or what he's going through is so sad. So don't think that there are certain people who are highly privileged and they have a good time,
And
other people and you don't have a good
Yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah.
It's not so.
Yeah,
It's not really so. Like Lord Mountbatten was assassinated, and there was a bomb blast and he was killed. And also I was giving these examples to them to show that, it's not like you are not somewhere special,
Ah.
that you are only chosen one to suffer.
and that's something that we hear so much.
So much.
My problem is unique. My
Unique.
situation is unique, and it never is. We've heard that hundreds of times before.
So tragedy is a part of life and suffering is a part of life, and everybody, irrespective of somebody being rich or poor or privileged or not privileged, everybody goes through in certain way.
Yeah. Just because you have money doesn't mean you'll not feel the pain.
Pain, or like look at these celebrity cricket players or other movie actors facing nastiest court cases and
Yeah.
matrimonial disputes, and they are suffering.
Papun is one that comes to my mind.
Right, and they're suffering in a certain way, and their suffering is in no way different from anybody else's suffering.
Absolutely not.
right?
Shami had said
Mohammed
in open
Shami had-
TV, Mohammed Shami had said that he had considered suicide.
Right.
India would have lost such a great
Yeah, player.
cricketer. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we have that message that please focus on well-being and the community.
Okay. Now, I think we've had a great session.
Yeah.
Going forward,
Right.
just to conclude,
Let me see.
what would you say is your message
Yeah.
to all men across the world
Right.
on this Men's Day?
Right.
And if you'd like, you can add it up or spice it up with a little bit of vision that you have for us over the year.
Right. Yeah. Well, before I go there, I must say that many times our opponents, the feminists and other people, they just claim that men's communities always whine about things, complain. They don't really help men.
Mhm.
They don't help men in emotional way,
Mhm.
or don't give them psychological support. And lot of psychologists who are having an ideology of their own,
Mhm.
so they also claim that there are mental health problems, and men don't share, and they just give
Absolutely.
a fake assessment. In reality, we have been helping men, and we are open, and we have like hundreds of helplines.
Yeah.
In fact, I told this to the National Commission for Women in 2017.
Mhm.
I was giving a talk at National Commission for Women. I said, our helplines and our communities work much better than any government-funded women's helpline.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's the thing. So it's very simple, that men need to meet each other. And if I am traveling somewhere, I always send a message saying, I am available for a couple of hours. So I was flying from Chennai to a country to attend that get together. And I messaged, and a couple of guys came to meet me.
Yeah.
So for half an hour, have coffee. So we are always available, ready to meet you wherever you want. If we are around, we are ready to meet you.
Absolutely.
Because that is important for us. And it doesn't matter whether you know us.
No.
No.
And the magical part, like you said, that we connect so easily.
Right.
And
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
a lot of us, like I don't have an elder brother, right?
Right.
When I was in hostel,
Right.
we used to call our seniors sir,
Right,
and
right.
we would take guidance and they would look after us.
Right.
They would have an eye on us, right?
Right.
And that goes away after hostel,
Right.
college, and all.
Right.
That is something that is required. And with you,
Yeah.
like I say to one of my friends, कि नंगा होने के लिए कोई तो चाहिए.
Right.
That you can be, speak your heart out.
Right. I mean, I'll tell you, recent times, we sometimes interact with feminists also from the media or from the literature or authors and all. Work. So sometimes we do communicate in private, not like online,
Yeah.
we are fighting or trolling, but rather. So what I see is that there is still a lot of confusion. I'm talking about next couple of years. There's a lot of confusion with the incel stuff and pickup artists and other stuff and certain other things which are going on in a fringe, but somehow media amplifies them.
Manosphere.
Manosphere, and Manosphere is not just those people. In fact,
Absolutely.
we are a very big part
Absolutely.
of Manosphere.
Uh-huh.
And by banning and blocking many of us, these social media companies in last 10 years, they enabled that extreme kind of certain odd and fringe and such people. So it's not a uniform bunch of people, but the main thing is to bring clarity. We need lot more books to come out.
Okay.
For the men to read about men's communities and men's well-being, we need certain books. And we also need books on what is men's rights movement. People should know what exactly it is, rather than reading some hit pieces in
Yeah.
the media or going through some documentaries like Adolescence they made in UK or something. People go through it. So there's a lot of mischief going on, mainly to defame the whole movement itself. Okay, so we need to create clarity with those books and maybe courses, more online sessions. And so we need to do lot more podcasts to
Yeah,
educate
absolutely.
people, like irrespective of your circumstance, you can have a very positive life. In not just to transform the lives of men and boys and across the world, but also to make a contribution to the society in a positive way, in a very positive way, to have better governance and better human rights for everybody. We are not just talking about men, for everybody, right? Yeah, and maybe if it is possible, then we need to we need a transformation of the educational ecosystem. Because a lot of universities are hijacked with certain ideologies. We need a very, very different kind of an environment, maybe with the new academic setups, where people are really taught how to live a positive, powerful, transformed life. It's all about life, but not these various subjects like STEM and this, that.
You do some
We
job.
career oriented or ideology oriented courses.
Got it.
Then we teach people about how to lead life, how to really improve the societies.
And maybe our Indian mythology or scriptures, and it is nothing to do with religion.
dogmatic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could
It's not to do with dogmatic
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but how do we gain from the ancestors,
Point of view.
ancient knowledge also.
Got it.
And I mean, we have to take it and put it in right context in today's world, instead of just being, borrowing something and pasting it here. But we need to contextualize properly to learn positively from the history and from our ancestors. Yeah.
Got it. One question.
Maybe the last question.
Yeah, within brackets.
Yeah.
Why do you name it Save Indian Family Foundation?
Yeah.
Why this name?
Yeah, I mean, somebody suggested this name.
Okay.
That's
Do you
how
remember who?
I don't know
Okay,
who it
okay.
is, but somebody suggested it. So
Okay.
I don't take the credit for the name.
Okay.
But we actually, people think we are trying to save the marriages or whatever, but actually it means that save the tribe. Here, the family means the tribe, the whole tribe in India or other countries. So men as a tribe. So save the family means the tribe, parivar. That's the Hindi word. So we are saving them from misery and from false cases and from prison. That is the whole context here.
Okay.
Not like, saving the institution of marriage or whatever.
Got it.
Of course, that needs to be saved.
Yes, yes.
True. But we found that it's too late. We should have tried it in 90s or 80s. It's already late. We need to dismantle, bring something new. So that's how the whole name is. And it also confuses the media or confuses the feminists.
Absolutely.
We'll enjoy it because they have been masters of confusion, because they often use the word diversity as a synonym for
Oh yeah,
women.
something like parental. What's that called for abortion clinics? They called it planned parenting.
Yeah,
Right.
so they manipulate the language a lot.
Absolutely.
Like diversity, they use the word diversity for women. They use the word gender for women. Like gender studies is mostly women
Yeah, yeah,
studies.
absolutely.
Women
Even
yeah.
so, this question, this
Yeah.
journalist from Republic, I think, came down to our Kolkata
Right.
Atul Subhash protest last year.
Right.
I think they didn't publish it, but one of the questions the lady asked was, um, 9th December is when we lost Atul.
Right.
She said 10th December is the Human Rights Day.
World Human Rights Day. Yes.
That's such a coincidence, she said. And I was like, you have no idea to the extent to which Atul could plan it. Maybe
Right.
he planned it on a day,
Right.
one day before
Yeah.
World's Human Rights Day, because even human rights is basically women's rights.
Right. Right. I didn't see it that way. Yes. 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 Maybe. Yes. And
Um, so great. So this is the first time I came
Right.
to know the history of Save
Yeah.
Indian Family Foundation, the name.
yeah. The
Thank-
other thing
yeah.
about International Men's Day is that like a lot of brands got engaged
Uh-huh.
in last 15 years.
Mhm.
The one of the first brands to publicize was Alan Solly. So they gave something like 10% discounts on that day
Okay.
if you buy
Okay.
clothes or
So they do
something.
it even now?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I have seen the brands get involved.
Okay.
And certain pubs in different cities, they
Uh-huh.
started offering, discount on drinks, provided on that day the woman pays the bill.
Oh, wow.
So if the woman pays for the drinks,
You
they
know,
get a
yeah.
discount
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, gender
And-
equality.
And there was a company, deodorant company called He Deodorant.
Okay.
So they had a music video called Show Men Some Love. It was around 10 years, 11 years back. So they had that very popular video,
Show men some love.
Love, with both English and Hindi.
Okay.
That went viral.
Mhm.
So a lot of companies are trying to contribute, in this way. So let's hope that some more brands take it up, and it's good for business also.
So is that increasing? Are the number of brands?
I mean, it goes up and down. So
Okay.
some year, more brands get involved, and some other year there is a lull and there's nothing much happening. But
Okay.
let's see. Let's work together to make it more popular.
Absolutely.
And I think next year onwards, we will start putting, hoardings, billboards,
Uh-huh.
and advertisement in the metro stations
Amazing.
for International Men's Day, and we will do it 1 month in advance, so that everybody knows that. Knows it, yeah.
Like the truck campaign that we did was the first of its
Yeah,
kind.
for suicide prevention, we had the truck going
Yes.
all around
Bangalore for a month.
For a month, for
Yeah.
2 months actually.
For 2 months. See.
Yeah.
See. Okay, so next year we're planning
Yeah.
billboards.
And we may also release the app, the Tribe One app.
Mhm.
Right now, it is very private to our own community. This app is called Tribe One.
Mhm.
It is there in Android
Mhm.
at a early level. So we may release it for Apple by this International Men's Day.
Mhm.
So for both Apple users and for Android users, this app can be released. And of course, initially the registration, signing up and all, we are slowly releasing it. So for different communities. So I think this should be a kind of a social media platform in future for men.
So any guy, for example, there could be a tab for men's health,
Right.
and they could learn about the tests required for.
So maybe in this video we can add some. In the end, we can put some details
Medical-
about how to access this app.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And because we will release it to social media also for
Okay,
the men,
that's
so that
amazing.
men's communities, there can be men's communities which can be created in this app to discuss, and it is not just for SIFF.
Mhm.
So the other communities and other groups can also gradually adopt and use.
And it could be international, right?
Yes, yes, because many of the people in foreign countries, they say they don't trust WhatsApp and Facebook and other social media. The risk is that they may be stealing your data, or they may be endangering you.
Yeah.
And the other
Monitoring
part
you.
is sometimes countries tend to ban certain
Absolutely.
apps. So we need a platform, software platform, and social media platforms of our own, rather than just depending on. See, we can trust Twitter as of now, but what about the other ones?
Yeah.
So we need I mean, even women can use our apps,
Mhm.
but we would like to be more independent.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
and also maybe in the we can share some pictures of some of our communities, in this during this podcast.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
during this part, we will put some of the pictures of our community
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that the audience can relate
Huh.
what we are speaking about.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we've got so many
Right.
events and
Right.
get-togethers and all.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
I would urge all the men,
Mhm.
because this is not a weekend, right? International Men's Day this time is not on a week.
It's a
It's a
weekday.
weekday.
Yeah.
So the Sunday they should gather with each other, have some campfire somewhere, or they should celebrate,
Okay.
and they should focus on well-being, okay, rather than any litigation, court cases, or activism. Instead of
Okay.
focusing on activism or court cases and legal stuff, which is very adversarial and sometimes negative.
Mhm.
We should focus on our well-being also,
Okay.
right? That's the primary part.
So-
Focus on health, good food, well-being, and maybe you celebrate with a campfire or some music,
Mhm.
light music.
All right. So your message for this Men's Day.
You just celebrate, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
And we hope we catch up again.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.